Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' special one-shot of You Will Destroy Something Beautiful. I am the Game Master, also known as Facilitator for this game, Relynn, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat. And tonight I have these players here that are going to play Destroyers, come to destroy something beautiful. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Destroyers.
Hey, my name is Motius. I do some strategy game Twitch streaming. Pronouns are he, him. And yeah, that's all necessary for me.
Hello, my name is Callie. My pronouns are they, them. I do actual plays on Tabletop Titties, and I have a horror movie podcast called Drinking and Screaming.
Hello, I am Ebonblade, and the only streams I'm on are on the McStabber Studios streams. I'm on Blades in the Dark as a regular, and I'm also possibly might be in Windy City as a guest in Season 4.
Ooh,
Season 4. It's already started. Last Sunday was the premiere.
Yay!
All right. So, as we get into this game, Destroyers, you have come here to this place to destroy something beautiful. I need to know 4 things about this place. Who would like to start with a descriptor of the place that you find yourself?
Got an idea. Let's see what everyone thinks. Why not a old sort of gaslit Victorian style theatre or opera house type thing?
Yes.
Something theatrical.
Yes, for sure.
But it's one of the old ones, so there's no electricity. It's got the old gas pipes, the old winder mechanisms to shift scenery around. It's
okay, so that's going to be 2 descriptors. we have an old.
Yes.
It's an old opera house. Is that what we're going with?
I'd say opera house or theatre, whatever one else decides.
Opera house seems fine. And it certainly has all these alcoves where people could watch plays downstairs without being bothered by the normal folk downstairs.
I'm going to say then that it's a packed house, but nobody is moving.
Oh, that's good.
It's getting really creepy already.
Well, I've got an idea on that. The actual guests could be in the old Victorian attire, except where the faces are, they have the old actors' masks, completely blank white ones.
Okay, I'm going to add those as qualifiers on the descriptor of the people. So that's good. Those are good descriptive elements that I can use to really flesh that out. Okay, so we now have 4 things, and I'm going to go through them. Just a moment. All right. So the place that you have found yourself, or yourselves actually, Destroyers, it is an old, antiquated Victorian theater. There are many alcoves in this theater, and of course, general seating as well. Gas lights light the interior, giving it a dim golden glow that casts long shadows over the place. There are also gas lights along the front of the stage to light the stage. It is a packed house, filled with people that don't seem to be moving. They are attired in antiquated Victorian garb. However, you cannot make out their faces because they are all wearing gilded masks. Sound good?
Sounds very creepy.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
All right. So now tell me, I want each of you, as I did my last game, I've tweaked the quantity of descriptors for the beautiful thing up to 6 to make it a little more balanced and paced better for the game. So we're going to go with each of you giving me 2 descriptors of the beautiful thing. Now, please start with 1 descriptor. If you embellish it a little bit, those are just qualifiers. I'll let you know if you're getting a little bit into more of 2 descriptors at once or more descriptors than 1. It's not to try to curb your creativity, but we're going to have to see if others will want to pick that up or agree that that'd be an extra descriptor, or if we work on trying to make it into more of a qualifier. Okay? So that everybody can collaborate on this. So you're in this theater. I imagine the beautiful thing is probably going to be found on the stage or backstage or something like that. What are descriptors of this beautiful thing that you are hunting?
Well, it certainly has something to protect it, right? So I think that would be good. These red curtains that close in front of the stage that seem a little too animated for simple curtains. That would protect anyone on the stage or behind from any public involvement.
Got it. Got it.
It can't move itself, but it's tethered by thousands of cords that hold it aloft.
Okay, so far we are looking at an immovable object. It's an object, likely not a person, that is held aloft by thousands of cords, and that's protected by curtains that really seem like they flow in a very unnatural way, like they might wrap around or protect.
Okay. If everyone's okay with this, why not have it as one of the some flamboyant masquerade ball masks? Don't know if that's the sort of thing we could go with.
Sounds cool as hell.
Just, as you say, suspended there by these cables.
Sounds like an object of power.
Why just suspended on cables? How about on like one of these giant puppets? Which in itself is suspended, like a mannequin. That's like what the word that I was missing.
Ooh.
With that mask on top and moving on these ginormous cables.
Oh, so it's like a jointed mannequin that's being almost like a marionette.
Yeah,
and they're just all in all directions.
Okay.
Hey, this is the next boss for my chronicle. So
It'd be slightly oversized, so it's like out of normal human proportions.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. I can only write so fast. I love when folks get into the brainstorming and start throwing out ideas, but I'm like, okay, my hands only work so fast. Okay. So then there is a masquerade mask. So the actual beautiful thing is this mask. And it is, okay, so the mask.
It's that room.
Okay, and then it is, the mask is larger than normal. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that as a qualifier on the mask. So we are down, we still have 2 more left that we can do.
I'm going to say that it's very difficult to not look at it.
Could I add to that actually? Could it be like a bejeweled mask instead, and that's why everyone's sort of eyes are drawn to it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Just pulls everyone to.
I'm going to add that as a qualifier to the mask so I can use it to describe it. Because that does make sense that would be why you can't tear your eyes from it, because it's sparkling. It basically, you become a magpie. You want the shiny. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I like that. Okay, so last one. So let me sum up what we have so that you can kind of wrap this up. Like maybe think about how it makes you feel, or what basically something, kind of tie it into something that would make it both a blessing and a curse. Okay, so think of it like that, because it may be something, or something that makes it a cursed object, because, you know, it obviously has these people in this location enthralled. It had to have done something to your characters personally that has just set you off and you want to destroy it instead of worship it like everyone else seems to want to. And so basically think about that as far as that last descriptor to kind of tie it into what's so ambiguous about it. What makes it good but bad too. So we have a larger than normal bejeweled masquerade mask that is very difficult to avoid looking at, placed on a jointed mannequin that is attached to thousands of cables and pulled in all sorts of abnormal, inhuman poses on this stage that is surrounded by curtains that have been drawn back to show the display. But these curtains move very strangely. It almost seems like they're overly animated. The flow does not match any air circulation in this place. The fabric. You think it might be a protection mechanism for this beautiful thing. So, what does this thing do?
Could it sort of sustain itself by draining energy off those who are staring at it, so they age or something like that? And that's why it draws everyone to look at it, and it just feeds off everyone. It makes them age, it weakens them.
It's
it drains their life force.
That sort of thing, to keep itself
kind of like
looking the way it does.
Maybe it keeps
like a
them in
diva in
stasis.
itself.
Maybe it keeps them in stasis, which is why all the people are wearing clothing from bygone ages.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Actually, I'm going to tweak that they're not just wearing Victorian clothing, that you are seeing historical clothing from various ages.
Ooh.
That's good. I like that. Okay. So it draws energy from people who stare at it. I like that. That weaponizes the shit out of that thing. I like that. Those of you who were in Twitch chat last time I ran this game, you know that when Mama McStabber says, I like that, my players have just given me ammo.
I mean, again, this just sounds like a rad World of Darkness scene.
I know, right? All right, so it draws energy from people who stare at it. And then I'm going to change the place, with attire from various time periods on the people that are there, that are unmoving. Okay, so we now have our place and our beautiful thing. So this place is an old Victorian theater with shrouded alcoves. Gas lights dimly light the place, casting long shadows. It's a packed house of still people. wearing gilded masks and attired in clothing from various time periods. Some might even be from antiquity. On the stage, lit by some gas lamps at the front of the stage, you see curtains pulled aside that are moving strangely. And tethered by thousands of cords, you see a jointed mannequin, life-size, being pulled in very unnatural poses. Looking at it, it literally makes you cringe because you know that would hurt if somebody was really pulled that way. On the mannequin is a ornate and bejeweled masquerade mask that's slightly larger than normal. It's very difficult to take your eyes from the mask. It is quite beautiful. However, each of you knows that this mask is a trap. Because what it does is it draws energy from those who stare at it too long. And you know that all these people in this packed house are enthralled to this beautiful thing. So, Mortuous, tell me, why have you come here, Destroyer?
I've seen this. I've heard stories about this. I think I can use it. I think I can destroy the negative sides on it and take it with me as I leave.
Please make a note of that if you have not already. Excellent. I like those motivations. That's rich.
Sure to work out.
That's fantastic. I love it when heroes are not really heroes. All right. So tell me, what has this beautiful thing done in your eyes to deserve destruction?
Not used. It's just sitting there, keeping people in stasis, but you could do so much more with it. Wouldn't it be on that freaking trap mechanism there?
Okay, go ahead and make a note of that descriptor. That's your second one. Destroyer, why are you cruel?
Merely the sum of forces acting upon me.
Society.
Okay. And Destroyer, who are you?
In one life, I was called the Mad Layman. In another one life, the Sorcerer. Don't have a real name anymore.
Okay. Kelly,
Yes.
your turn. Why have you come here, Destroyer?
So every few years, I hear a female voice that guides me to locations where I can witness something beautiful be destroyed.
Okay, I see what you did there. Okay. Next question. What has this beautiful thing done in your eyes to deserve destruction?
Beautiful things that are thriving aren't that interesting, but when a beautiful thing is destroyed and has to repair itself, that's when it becomes interesting.
Okay.
See what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a self-insert.
I see this. I see this. That's awesome. Why are you cruel?
Because my fans demand it of me.
Who are you?
I am a horror novelist who is just trying to make it from one bestseller to another.
Awesome.
I brought a stage cigarette because I'm a horror novelist. Of course I have a cigarette.
All right. Thank you very much, horror novelist. Now, Ebonblade, why have you come here, Destroyer?
I seek to destroy all beauty. I'm just starting with this first.
Okay. And what has this beautiful thing done in your eyes to deserve destruction?
It exists, and that is enough for me. Want to see the world burn? I'm just starting with the beauty first.
Just going to throw that out there. Yeah. With those fire eyes. I love it. Okay. Why are you cruel?
I'm not cruel. That implies the human frailty of kindness once existed. I don't feel anything. I'm just here to enjoy the destruction.
Okay. Who are you?
My name is long forgotten, but I am Ravener.
A Revener. Okay. All right, demon.
Just putting that there, you know.
All right. So we have the former sorcerer that's currently nameless. We have a horror novelist looking for fodder for the next bestseller. We've got a Revener that just wants to see the world burn and is going to start with the beautiful things first. So, you find yourself approaching the stage, walking down the aisles, passing these people that are motionless, but they are dressed so strangely. It's literally, it's like a timeline of history in what these people are wearing. You see a few modern garments towards the back. It's a packed house. Very few seats are left. As a matter of fact, there appears to be 3 left. The modern clothing, garbed people are towards the back. And as you work your way forward, you start to work your way further back in history. All the way to the front row where there's some quite antique garb on these people, but they are unmoving. And they are wearing these gilded masks, staring in the direction of this beautiful thing. You approach the stage, lit by gas lamps, footlights. And the curtains, luxurious and heavy, red, expensive velvet curtains, drape on the sides, and they start to move a little closer in a way that strikes you as unnatural. But you approach this vignette on stage, this suspended puppet, really. A mannequin that's jointed and pulled by cables in various directions that are completely unnatural. And on it is the beautiful thing. An ornate, Venetian-styled masquerade mask that is larger than it should be and completely encrusted in exceptionally rare and expensive jewels. You are having a very difficult time pulling your eye away from it. And the more you stare at it, you feel it start to pull at you. So, here we are, destroyers. We are moving into combat. Who would like to go first? Who has an idea on a way they are going to try to attack the beautiful thing?
I think the mad layman is just going to step up the stage and try to take the mask off the puppet.
Okay.
Completely ignoring the weirdly moving curtains. The possible danger of the puppet. Just trying to take.
Okay. Roll your d6 and let's see what you do.
That's a 2.
Ooh.
You go to reach. You actually walk right up to this mannequin. And as you do, the funniest thing, as you're looking up at it, the mannequin's head is angled down, closer to you. Because you wouldn't have been able to reach it otherwise. It's almost like it's taunting you to try to take it. And when you reach for it and put your hand on it, the cables shift rapidly, and the mannequin knocks you clear across the stage, away from it. You have failed. Remove one of your descriptors and tell me which one and how it has diminished you.
I will certainly take the fact away that it is an unused object. It is certainly not used by a human, but it's still being used.
And how does that diminish you?
It takes away from my drive.
Okay. Okay. You find yourself drawn to stare at this object from across the stage where you've been knocked. Firmly sitting on your rear end because that blow was significant. And you're just staring at it, realizing you might have been wrong about this. But damn, it's beautiful. Who's going next?
I can go next. So not taking my eyes off of it, I'm going to take one of the empty seats. And I'm going to pull out a notebook and I'm going to begin writing. And much in the same way that I do when I write my novels, I'm going to try to convince the narrator in my head that this is how events are going to happen. I write that it's so strange that this thing has been here for so long, yet with the presence of new people here, forgot where all of the gas lanterns were. The writhing shape shattered one of them, and lit the stage aflame.
Okay, let's see if your will and creativity and imagination is enough to make something happen. Roll your d6.
It's a 3.
Yeah, no. And the mannequin, the cables manipulate, and it flips you off. But you are definitely feeling very drawn to stare at this thing, and the creative juices are just still flowing. You just gotta write. You know you can do this. You know you can do this. You can't let this go. But what did you let go for this?
That things are more interesting, or beautiful things are more interesting when they're broken, because something about this is more beautiful than I'm used to.
There you go. And how does that diminish you?
It's certainly going to make it hard to write the next book now that I am seeing value in beauty.
Excellent. So.
Okay, I shall try something. It may be quite fancy, but I'm probably going to roll a 1 anyway, so nothing will happen. But I'll give it a go. Okay, let's see. I try to warp reality, and I pull a length of steel, like a steel blade, about 3 foot long, from my pocket, which shouldn't really contain something like that, but somehow it's there. As I pull this piece of metal out in front of me, I blow at it till it shatters into 1,000 pieces. And as I finish my breath, I send 1,000 pieces hurtling towards the mannequin. Up the cables.
Okay, I see what you're doing with that. Now go ahead and roll your d6 and let's see if it works.
I got a 5.
Okay, so you successfully warp reality. Pull this blade, this long, like 3 foot, 4 foot blade out. It's definitely a two-handed weapon. Shines like wrath. It feels potent. The vibe goes through the whole theater. And you blow on it, and it shatters into 1,000 little shards, and they launch at the mannequin. The cables are severed. The mannequin falls. But it does not shatter or even seem to take any damage. It stands upright like a person. Lands on its feet like a cat. And then you see the mannequin independently move the head from side to side. And the curtain you are standing nearest wraps around you. You are now encased in the protective curtain.
That went well.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting a 1 on that one.
But the nice thing is you can't stare at the mask anymore because you can't see it. But you also are going to struggle to get out of this curtain. All right, so that is round 1. Let me remove from the beautiful thing that it is tethered by thousands of cords.
We're doing it, y'all.
And that it
One thing
can't
at a time.
and that it can't move because now it can move. The mannequin can move.
We've boned ourselves, y'all.
Too many weapons here.
Fine.
Is that 1 down, 7 to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only like 5 descriptors left on it. First round, the nameless gentleman has lost something and is staring at the mask after being knocked across the stage away from the beautiful thing it tried to take. The horror writer is sitting at the back of the theater, watching this play out. He attempted to write into existence a glorious flame that would burn it all, but that didn't happen. Now he's left realizing that this may be a bigger challenge than he thought. Or she, or they. Not sure, this writer. They appear very neutral.
I don't write myself into my own stories.
Exactly. And then we have the Revener. Obviously powerful. Beautiful Thing saw it as one of its biggest threats. And after destroying the cables tethering the mannequin that's wearing the Beautiful Thing, the Beautiful Thing commanded the curtains to protect it. And one of those curtains completely entrapped that Revener. So, round 2. Who's going first?
Our mad sorcerer will remember him being a sorcerer. And the movement of that puppet. It's a problem. So he will try to grasp it with his mind, lock it in place as he grasps for the mask again.
Okay. Roll your d6.
That is a 5.
Okay. The moment you focus your will, because you know, as a sorcerer, magic is mostly solid intention and focusing your will on ensuring what you want to happen happens. And as you reach out and your fingers touch the mask, the puppet goes still. The mannequin is still. And your hand is now on this mask. However, the settings that the jewels are encrusted in touch your hand. And you bleed.
I will keep bleeding over it.
Mm-hmm. And the puppet falls away from the mask, limp. You now have a mask in your hand, and your blood is infusing it with power. Because you were a sorcerer.
I'm trying so hard not to be like...
Unlimited power.
Exactly.
All right. So the Beautiful Thing has lost its mannequin.
So hearing the narrator describe how the mask is being infused with power and loving the addition of the Guardian at the gate, I think I realized that this sorcerer is going to need backup from this demon. And I'm going to pull out my sad little revolver with like 2 bullets left. And just like still eyes on this mask. I'm going to try to shoot the cables holding the curtain aloft, and hopefully it will collapse and this demon will be free from the guardian.
All right, let's roll your d6 and see.
It's a 5.
Okay. So, how you do this without actually aiming, because you're staring at the beautiful thing. You know, there might be something to your writing, to your creativity. Might be some magic in that. Because the shot is true. It hits a rigging that holds the cable, that holds the curtains aloft. And the curtains huddle to the floor of the stage, revealing the Ravener, now free. And the beautiful thing has lost its protective curtains. Excellent.
And too badly.
Mm-hmm. But now, Ravener, your eyes are immediately locked onto the beautiful thing, and you feel it pulling from you.
Let's see. What I shall try to do is create, well, I'll try to increase the pressure on the area surrounding the gems, because I seek to shatter the gems by increasing the pressure all around them.
Okay, roll a d6. Let's see if you succeed.
Okay, that didn't go so well. I got a 3.
Yeah.
That's 50-50.
Oh, yeah. It's that's what I love about this game. It's a crapshoot. You're either going to succeed or you're not. And either way, there's complicated shit that happens. Okay, so what happens here? Ravener, you are staring intently at this beautiful thing, and you feel it pulling energy from you. And you know if this goes on too long, it's going to be bad. You focus on these gems and the beautiful thing, and you try to warp properties of these gems. You're trying to increase the pressure in them, around them, basically trying to shatter and explode these gems. And instead, you feel pressure building inside of you. The beautiful thing is already latched onto you, darling. What is it removed from your descriptors? This failure for someone who is driven to just destroy and being unable to destroy without destroying themselves.
It has taken from me who I am,
The Ravener.
but it's not taken my purpose.
Got you. Got you.
Still know what I'm here to do.
And how does that diminish you, losing that knowledge of what and who you are?
I never cared what I was. It's no loss to me.
A lot of ego in this one. I accept your challenge.
I have just the one purpose here.
Uh-huh.
I don't really care about who I am, but I know what I'm here to do.
Got you. That's all right. I know what my target is. All right.
Just hastily writing down what the narrator is saying.
All right. So that is round 2. In round 2, we had some successes go on. The sorcerer remembered their magic and succeeded, but there was a consequence for that success. Certainly, the mannequin is no longer an issue, and will not knock this sorcerer around anymore. But now, the sorcerer has this mask, this beautiful thing in his hand. His hand is bleeding and infusing the beautiful thing with more power, while he's staring at it and being drained. The novelist, horror novelist, pulled a miracle right out of their ass. Landed a trick shot and brought the curtains down that were surrounding the Ravener, leaving the Ravener open to take advantage. The Ravener tried to destroy the beautiful thing by shattering the gems on it. But instead, there's now pressure building within this entity. And he is unable to remove his eyes from the object. But he no longer is known as the Ravener, not to himself or anyone else. But he still has his purpose here, which is to destroy. Let's just hope he can do so before he destroys himself. All right. Round 3. And the beautiful thing has lost the mannequin, the cords, and the curtains. So we are down 3 things and have 3 left.
So, our sorcerer, drunk on power again, will try to wear the mask and wrest control over it.
Okay. Roll your d6.
6.
Okay.
Nice.
You put the mask on. And it actually, you would think, from the metal that the gems are set in, the mask itself is actually made of gold. And when you put it to your face and tie the ribbon behind your head, it is obviously pure gold because it shifts and molds to the contours of your face. A perfect fit. And as you look out to try to enforce your will upon this mask to do your bidding, it gets very warm. Not enough to burn. It actually feels really comforting. Soothing. Like a hug you haven't received in so long.
Writing that down.
And all you do is move to the position that the puppet was in and face the Ravener and the horror novelist. You are now the bearer of this mask. It will be a fight to see if you can actually take control of it or if you become enthralled to it from this point forward. You will need to make decisions on if you are going to fight against those trying to destroy it off your face, or if you are going to just let that happen. So, we're kind of tweaking this game a little bit because Mortuus decides to throw a monkey wrench, but I can roll with it. We're taking the story in a new direction because Mortuus basically pulled a move that should make basically him enthralled. So we're going to have this teetering on a knife's edge. It can go
Cool.
either way.
I do have an idea. It
All
might
right.
just work.
All right.
This sorcerer character, I'm liking this character. I think there's potential for this character to show up again. So I'm gonna help him out a bit. I'm gonna take out my notebook again, and I'm gonna start taunting the power of the mask. I write in my book, it's a sad metaphor. The power is a mask because the true power of this object is hiding behind a mask. It is drawing the power out of other people because it's too weak to reveal itself. It would be a true show of power if it just came out and stood on its own merit.
Okay. Roll your d6.
Here we go. That's a 2.
Yeah, no.
It didn't like that.
It's funny because when you write this, you actually look away from the mask briefly to write all of this out, to put your intent in ink on paper. And as you take a drag from your cigarette after writing such forceful intent and look back up at the mask, you see the sorcerer's eyes staring back at you from this mask, and the mask glows brighter. And now you find it even harder to look away from it. You actually find it very difficult to even want to get out of your seat. Remove a descriptor and tell me how it diminishes you.
Yeah, this 100% backfired in trying to have it reveal its true power. It draws out my true power, removing my tether to the narrator, which will now make it almost impossible for me to find objects like this in the future.
Yep. I love that.
And Mama McStabbers now stands on the stage now.
All right, so now the demon formerly known as the Ravener, who's come here to destroy, just to destroy. What are you going to do? This beautiful thing is now on one of the people that were supposedly here to destroy it.
Besides Mortress, what other things do we need to destroy with this mask?
Well, considering Mortuous's action actually didn't attempt to destroy the beautiful thing, it attempted to take control of it, which would have possibly destroyed it, but I decided to throw a little monkey wrench in that since he threw a monkey wrench at me. And a little bit of GM fiat there. So we still have 3 things on it because the beautiful thing still exists. So the beautiful thing still exists. It is very difficult to avoid looking at it, and it draws energy from you as you stare at it.
Okay. I shall try to generate darkness around it, so that no one can see it anymore. Just like a sphere of darkness around Mortress's head.
That's a good idea. That's using your noodle. I like that. So go ahead and roll your d6 and let's see if you succeed.
Oh.
Okay. Congratulations. All right. You focus your will and your power. You draw on the faith that has fed you for eons. You raise your hands towards the beautiful thing that is on that other man's face. And as you do, you actually shift into this large black form with wings sprouting from your back. You look like a thing of nightmares. And the blackness seeps from you like a cloud and encases the man and the mask so that it cannot be seen. However, your nature has been revealed. Anyone that can see you now knows exactly what you are. And you still feel, even though you can't see it, you still feel it draining you. But now you can't see it. Very good. All right. So, our sorcerer still working on trying to use this beautiful thing. Trying to exert will on it to take control of it. Our novelist has nearly become enthralled to it. Our demon has shrouded it in darkness, but it still has power because it's still pulling from everyone in the room. And it still exists behind the shroud. Next round.
Our Mad Sorcerer will try to shut off the power draining that this mask does, as he is basically, hopefully, in control. Who knows?
Roll your d6. Let's see if you succeed. Yeah, no. As a matter of fact, you feel it pull something from you until it breaks. What is it destroyed in you?
I am no longer just the sum of my, the sum of forces acted upon me.
Okay.
I found my will, my movement, my trying to do something fun, trying to change the world around me, not have the world change me the way it was before.
Excellent, but you are one step closer to becoming this object's enthralled servant. All right, who's next?
I got an idea.
Okay.
So I can't see it now. But with my connection to the narrator severed, I realized that I'm just a person. I drove here in a fucking Jeep Cherokee. I was gonna go get some coffee later. But there's a goddamn demon up on stage and a sorcerer that just captured this thing. But I'm gonna make this book a motivational book for humanity versus evil, and I realized that this opera house is packed with people who are also just human, and they also can't see it anymore. So I'm gonna begin to write that as the darkness engulfs the mask, and its power is obscured for a moment. sentience comes back to the audience. And with their will returning, those of them in the front who have been here too long begin to perish. But those in the back, who maybe also drove here in a Jeep Cherokee, rush the stage and attempt to tear the mask from the face of the sorcerer and shatter it to the ground.
Okay. Roll your d6.
And I throw like more adjectives and heavy-handed metaphors in there as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm a bad writer. That's a 1, y'all.
Okay. So what actually happens when you write this and you feel something pull from you? That you can feel the drain as you put your intent to paper. You actually do see sentience return to these people. And of course, yes, some of the really old ones just instantly slump in their chairs, dead. But the ones that are still viable get up. Most of them do move towards the stage. But one walks over to you and places a golden mask on your face. Tell me what the beautiful thing has taken from you in this attempt to destroy it.
My identity.
Okay. You're no longer the horror novelist.
I mean, I was a shite novelist anyways, so... But, I'm just one of the fans now. I'm one of the adoring,
the fans.
obsessed fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your fans demand things of you, and now you've become a fan. Mm-hmm. All right. Demon, what are you going to do now? You are getting to the point where people are starting to swarm you, their golden masks on their face. The shroud is still obscuring the sorcerer with the mask on, but you feel it pulling. It's wanting to take your energy, your power.
I shall try and reverse its power.
Okay.
So instead of feeding off everyone, it returns the energy and it drains
itself.
It expends itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's smart. Roll your d6. Let's see if we can do that.
Potentially, this could be good. And that's a 4.
Okay, so you actually succeed in doing that. Now, you feel its hold on you lessen. It's actually, you feel a reversal of a bit. There's still some pull. But there's also a flow back into you. It's almost balanced. However, the people that it had taken a lot from are not replenished yet. So they still serve it. But you have destroyed its ability to draw energy from people who stare at it, because now it still draws, but it actually replaces what it takes. Very good. Very good. So, the beautiful thing still exists. And now there are active threats with these people that have been brought back to sentience. It's a lot of people. Sure, some of them died right in their seats, but some of them still got some life in them. Oh, you've got a mask. That's awesome.
Wish I had one.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. The sorcerer is still shrouded in darkness. Can't see his nose at the end of his face. But he's wearing the mask. The former novelist, now a complete fan. Still has a little bit of themselves. Tiny smidgen. And if they don't break free soon, they will become part of the masses that try to protect the beautiful thing. Next round. Who's going first?
Well, can I hear the masses trying to storm the stage?
Oh, absolutely. You can hear their footsteps on the stage.
Okay.
And you hear them basically forming a circle around you. At least quite a few of them. Some of them seem to be forming around, off to another direction. You presume probably where the other individual was.
Which parts of the beautiful thing are still left?
Just the beautiful thing that you're wearing.
Just the beautiful thing that I'm wearing?
Mm-hmm.
I will try to use it and make all the people walking around kneel.
Roll your d6.
That's a 4.
Okay.
No.
As the last person moves into position around you, they all kneel, but they still encircle you. Those who were around the demon were outside of your influence. But you succeeded. Around you. Your influence was enough, with amplification of the mask you are wearing, to command them to kneel.
I mean, it's not a story anymore, so I can get involved.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna now try to rush the sorcerer with my last shred of humanity, and just peel that thing off his face and smash it to the ground.
Roll your d6. Let's see if you can do it.
Yeah, my d6 has historically been going well.
Come on, come on.
6.
Nice!
Yeah.
Human powers for the win.
This masked individual with a fucking cigarette in their hand rushes up on this stage in a shock of pink hair and lightning. Cuts right, literally leaps over the people kneeled around this cloud of darkness, right through that cloud of darkness, yanks that mask off your face, and smashes it and literally throws it on the ground and stomps it with their boot, shattering it.
No! I had it under control!
Now, my question is the sorcerer going to do anything about this? Because the sorcerer didn't really want to destroy it. The sorcerer wanted to use it.
He will yell no, seeing us destroyed, and probably lash out with his will.
Okay, roll your d6 and see if you actually harm this individual.
6.
Oh!
Yeah,
Whoops.
the fan, formerly known as a horror novelist, becomes enthralled to the sorcerer.
Hell yeah.
That will washes over you like nothing. That narrator's voice had nothing on this. It's positively addictive.
What is
having
thy
this
bidding?
much power flow through you. And now you serve the sorcerer.
Can I get you anything?
Nothing.
It's empty.
Yeah.
But
Right
now
on
both of you are behind this cloud of darkness that the demon cast. So let's see what the demon's going to do. You've succeeded in destroying the beautiful thing, but let's finish out the round and let folks do what they're going to do.
I'm going to try something that's probably a bit nasty.
Okay.
Because why not?
Why not?
I'm going to effectively create an illusion. I'm going to make it appear as if the mask is reformed into its original shape without any powers, but just so it looks as if it's intact. I'm just going to have the bits come together, and I'm just going to have that on the stage as a turn to start leaving,
Okay. So
to see what the sorcerer does when he sees it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your d6. Let's see if you succeed.
And that is another 4.
Okay. Demon, as you leave in your true horrendous form, the masked people that had surrounded you actually have kneeled now because the beautiful thing was destroyed. They almost seem like they're starting to come to themselves. Some of them look up at you and absolutely freak the hell out.
My good looks and charm.
It's your good looks and charm. Absolutely. You are the stuff of nightmares. The beautiful thing that is shattered into pieces and gone done starts to appear to reform at the feet of the sorcerer and the sorcerer's new thrall.
Well,
It reforms, and the gems start to glow again. And it's just laying there on the ground. And the demon makes his way to the exit.
I'll pick up the mask for my new master and hand it over. No hard feelings?
no hard feelings. I will wrap up the mask. Do I notice it being an illusion?
Roll your d6.
That is a 4.
You know it's an illusion.
I will try something.
Okay.
I will try to make real what isn't.
Roll your d6.
That is a 1.
Oh no.
You are going to remove your first descriptor of can use it, because you can no longer use this mask.
Yeah. I will accept it being destroyed. No longer being useful. No longer being anything. And return the mad layman sorcerer I was.
Okay. But you now have a thrall.
Yay!
You. All right, so that concludes this session of You Will Destroy Something Beautiful. So let's talk about how you were changed by this action. how you ended up destroying the beautiful thing, but what it cost you. So, layman sorcerer, that's all you have left. Was it worth it?
So, the first thing I lost was my drive, kind of the motivation to do. The next thing I lost was the deep thought that everything I did was because the world around me shaped me into what I was. But once I lost that, it kind of came back. Motivation kind of came back.
Mm-hmm.
And as the beautiful thing was destroyed and I tried to reshape it and couldn't, the hope of wanting to use it fell away. And I just came out of it no different than before.
Okay. I will say, the individual who thought they were a horror novelist pretty much lost everything. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. But that was fantastic, though. That was a good story. All right. now you serve a sorcerer. You can write about whole bunches of new things. So, moving on to the Ravener.
I mean, I also lost being a novelist. I'm not a novelist anymore. I'm just a
No,
person
but you
who
can still
serves
write.
the sorcerer.
Yeah.
Less pressure this way.
Less pressure. That's right. Hey, at least you got employment, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the demon. You really only lost the type of demon you were.
It's true. I still know what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. And now you can go about doing it. So I'm assuming it was worth it to you?
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
There was something I'd planned to do on my exit if the sorcerer had fallen for the mask. My plan was to, because it's a gaslit theatre, to pull one of the pipes from the wall to
Yeah,
set the
because
place
there would be
ablaze
gas lines running through the place.
as I leave. So, want to see them all burn.
You wanted to gaslight the sorcerer so that you could kill him with the gaslight.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's. I'm glad we didn't go there. We didn't go full, Thunderdome. But yeah, it was good. It was good. You basically destroyed the beautiful thing, and now you can move on to doing more destruction. Yep. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for playing this first part of our evening of gaming, and we will be back after this 5-minute break to play another session of this with these amazing destroyers. So we will be right back. Hold tight. Thank you. and welcome back to our next session of You Will Destroy Something Beautiful with these amazing destroyers that led us on one hell of a story last time before the break. All right, so we're going to get right into it, destroyers. You have come here to this place to destroy something beautiful. Tell me 4 things about this place.
It's a collection of wooden homes, but they're all stacked strangely on top of each other, almost creating a miniature Tower of Babel.
Okay.
It's actually like one of these old an area that they used to detonate nukes on. And these wooden homes are part of those civilian structures that they had as a dummy.
Okay,
And
so
so
it's a
the-
former nuclear test site.
Yeah, it's a former nuclear test site.
Okay. Just a moment.
Might be still radioactive, who knows?
I mean, I like the implication that the homes didn't blow up, but instead got sucked together.
Why not?
Hey, who knows what they detonated there?
Mm-hmm. At least that's the rumor, that it's a former nuclear test site. It could have been other weird testing going on. Okay.
Okay. I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
The sky. It's coloured like the Aurora Borealis, except instead of waves of patterns along the sky, you've got faces.
Fuck. At this time of day? This location?
Oh, well, you can make out faces in the shapes of the waves of colour. Or you could choose something different if you want.
No, that I hate it and I love it.
Trees are really white and ashen on the trunks. Not like birch tree, but like something sick.
Sort of like rotting or diseased.
Yeah.
There's
Hang on. We only need 4.
Oh, I thought.
Okay, so we're going to
Perfect.
talk about this. Okay, so we've got, it's a collection of wooden homes that are stacked oddly, almost like a Tower of Babel. The rumors are this is a former nuclear test site. The sky is a strange blend of colors, almost like the Aurora Borealis, but out of the corner of your eye, you think you see shapes of faces in the sky. So that's 3 things. What's going to be the 4th?
I was gonna suggest that there's like a layer of water everywhere, kind of like
Flooding?
like salt lake. Yeah, but it's like it almost feels like you're walking on it. It's so thin, and it reflects the sky, basically.
Okay.
Or
So
like
we have
mirrored
potential for
salt.
trees. We have potential for water. Where is this beautiful thing located within this location? Is it in the homes?
Probably.
So like they're
Yeah.
basically, even though it looks like multiple homes, it's a shell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's cool.
Like
Okay, that's fine. So we already have a location for the beautiful thing. So now we can flesh out that last detail. So do you want the trees or do you want the water? Or do you want...
I envisioned both. Like
Both?
them coming
Okay.
out of the
Okay, so there is a layer of water.
Sort of like a salt marsh type thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Layer of water with sickly trees that reflect the sky. And I'm going to put in parentheses salt marsh. Okay. Very good. All right, so that's our location. Tell me 6 things about the beautiful thing. And start with 1 each, and then we'll go back around.
I'd say It's like a teddy bear. And left behind in one of those homes. Loved, but discarded.
Okay, so it's a teddy bear. Is it tattered? Or is it pristine?
I feel more tattered, I think.
Tattered? Okay. Okay, so tell me more about this beautiful thing.
The closer you get to it, the louder screams inside your head get.
I like that.
Okay, I've got an idea. Although it looks like a teddy bear, it's actually real fur.
No.
Okay, I'm going to add that as a qualifier to the teddy bear. Because
They also
honestly, at this moment, I can't think of how that could be used as an
I'm
advantage.
trying
to
not
it.
to weaponize it.
may also have real teeth.
So it's just bear components, but in teddy bear form. I hate it.
Like little piranha teeth.
Ew.
God bless.
Oh God.
Let's not
Even
make
better.
players vomit at the table, okay?
I mean, it's still great. It's just
I mean, you could also go for like these this like worm in worm mouth kind of with the teeth circular around,
Like a
and then-
lamprey.
Yeah,
Like a
Oh, boy.
lamprey mouth? Okay. All right. So it has sharp teeth?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, bear's teeth are sharp, right?
Not really sure if we have them over here. So
Okay, so we have a teddy bear, a tattered teddy bear that appears to be made of real fur. The closer you get to it, the louder the screams inside your head get. I'm going to take that and kind of run with it as part of the setting. Basically, once you arrive here, you start to hear whispers and screams in your head. And then the closer you get to the teddy bear, the louder they get. And then the bear has sharp teeth. Its mouth reminds you of a lamprey. It's the stuff of nightmares. But okay, so that's 3 things. So now we're going to go back around and we're going to get 3 more things. I'm loving this bear though. It's like weaponized. I love it.
Hate it.
For some reason, I'm thinking of the rabbit in the Monty Python.
Run
Oh,
away!
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, why not have it in either like a display case or like a toy box, like a chest, to shield it?
Oh, it's on. Hang on. Let me think. It's in a locked barrister chest.
Barrister.
Mm-hmm. Or like a barrister bookcase. Yeah.
Since these houses are stacked onto each other.
But we
maybe
said
the-
it's like a shell.
Yeah. So maybe the floors is like slanted.
The floors are slanted from the houses on top.
In like exactly like in different shapes and angles, and makes it difficult to walk.
Oh,
Could also become very dangerous. Mm-hmm.
I've got one.
Okay, go for it.
The chest, either the bear or the chest is leaking, and it's just constantly flowing the liquid that is in this area.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I hope y'all don't have any red cards against drowning. Yeah.
I think my destroy may end up being a fish. Just saying, we'll see where we go first.
We're just, that'd be fun, just all animals.
All right. So, you all, destroyers, we'll get into who you are in just a minute. You have all arrived at this place at the exact same time. You see what appears like a salt marsh. There's a layer of water in this area that you walk on. It's a very thin layer. It's a bit murky, but it's also reflective. You see the unusual sky reflected in it. The sky has striations of colors in it, similar to an aurora borealis, but out of the corner of your eye, you think you see faces. And that's a warped reflection in the water at your feet. You also see reflections of the trees in the area that appear ashen and sickly. Rumors are this was a former nuclear test site. There is a odd stacking of wooden houses to one side of this location. If this is a nuclear test site, those would have been blown out and destroyed. But instead, they are stacked at odd angles. But it brings to mind the thought of the Tower of Babel. Stepping into the doorway, door is gone from these buildings. You see the floors are at odd angles. Makes it very difficult to walk on. And also they're covered with this thin layer of water, makes them a little slippery. As you entered the location before even going into the homes, though, you noticed a whispering in your mind that you didn't hear on your way here, only the moment you got here. And as you got closer to the houses, it got a little louder. And now that you're inside, it's becoming a resonating drone in your mind. And you make your way through the various levels of this weird building, because that's what these houses have formed, is some odd building with Escher-esque levels and floors. You find in a room that has a broken twin-size bed in it and toys strewn about. This might have been a child's room. There is a barrister bookcase. Obviously, it was mounted to the wall to prevent toppling over because it is standing intact on this slanted floor. The glass panes completely intact, not broken or shattered. It looks practically brand new. The finish unmarred. And in it you see this tattered teddy bear. Appears to be made of real fur. Looks incredibly soft to touch. However, its mouth is filled with very sharp, almost needle-like teeth. Reminds you of a lamprey. And leaking from this case is the water that you have walked through this entire area. And it doesn't seem to be stopping. But you cannot see where it is coming from. It's just leaking from the bottom of the case. So, tell me, Mortuous, why have you come here, Destroyer?
Need to find out what they're doing. Need to stop what they're doing. Need to protect the people from them.
Okay. What has this beautiful thing done in your eyes to deserve destruction?
Not sure, but I'm not gonna let them keep doing stuff.
Why are you cruel?
I'm a vet. I did things. They changed me.
So you are battle hardened. And you said basically who you are. You're a vet.
The veteran. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kelly, why have you come here, Destroyer?
'Cause this used to be my room.
What has this beautiful thing done in your eyes to deserve destruction?
It caused me destruction, and I'm just coming back to pay it back.
Why are you cruel?
Because I'm the last sister that promised they would destroy this. And the other ones didn't. They lied.
And who are you?
I am not sure because I'm pretty sure I died here, but somehow I keep walking.
Okay.
So some sort of unliving person.
Okay. I've made a note, either a ghost or a revenant. We shall see.
Yeah. Wait, we've got a bear and a revenant?
I know, right? All right, Ebon Blade. Why have you come here, Destroyer?
I want to unmake it and put it back together to understand how it works. But I want to destroy it to collapse it.
What has this beautiful thing done in your eyes to deserve destruction?
It killed all the people in this town. And it'll continue killing people unless it's destroyed.
Okay. Why are you cruel?
The end justifies the means. I just want to understand how this thing works. And I'll do whatever it takes to learn and understand it.
Who are you?
A toy maker.
Oh no.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so Destroyers, as you approach this case with this bear in it, the voices in your head turn to screams. And it is loud. You hear men, women, children, even animals screaming in terror. It is especially loud for the unliving creature as they stride both sides. You are hearing the souls destroyed by this thing. So, the three of you, the veteran, the victim of this thing, and the toy maker, have come to destroy this beautiful thing in this treacherous location, in a very secure and locked barrister bookcase. With water leaking from it nonstop. And you're struggling to focus because of the screams in your head. Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
I think not having expected the screams to be here, I'm like locked down basically. But I'm going to try to scream louder than them to try and shut them up.
Okay.
So I'll basically just like collapsed, but just start screaming counter to them.
All right, roll your d6.
And it begins. That's a 3.
You all see as this... Now, tell me, victim, are you whole? Are you transparent?
I think I'm like flickering because
Okay.
I was a child when this happened, but I kept aging up until this point.
Okay.
So there's like my physical form of this like older young woman.
And then there's
but
a
it's, like,
flicker of a
flickering.
child. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. All right, so you see this female form. This person, maybe? There's a flickering, though. It's like it goes from the adult female to this child that's a bit transparent at times. And she falls to her knees with hands to her head, rocking a bit. And this blood-curdling, soul-scorching scream tears from her mouth. But the screams in your head do not lessen. The water starts flowing faster from the bookcase. Victim, tell me, what does this failure cost you?
So I originally thought that my sisters had just lied and didn't come try to confront this. But now I realize that they did and were stopped. So I no longer have that cruelty of feeling betrayed.
Okay.
And it's weakened my resolve a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because that's what was driving me.
That makes complete sense. I would say that, at least for a little while, you are going to be out of commission while you deal with this shift.
Fair.
So, who is going to go next?
I've got an idea.
Okay.
I'm going to do something to try and stop the screams. From my satchel, I'll pull out a small music box. shall wind up and have it play.
Oh, please
But
tell
no
me it's playing for Elise.
It's not playing any sound at all, but
Oh.
it is drawing the sound from around it into it. And I'm trying to have it draw the sound of the screams and the source of the screams,
Okay.
trap them. In theory, it'll be able to play those screams back, but
We'll see.
this time it will take them.
We'll see. Roll
I'm
your
just trying to
d6.
take the
Let's see if you
sound.
succeed. It's a brilliant plan.
6.
Okay.
New dice.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to put dice in timeout. I understand. So, so they learn their lesson to stop rolling so poorly.
Dice trail.
Yeah. So, what happens is all of you that are here, even you, victim, even though you've been shaken by realizing that your sisters didn't betray you, they just failed. And you, veteran, see this toy maker take out this ornate little music box. It's gilded and enameled and beautiful. And he opens it, winds it up. And inside it has a little conch shell that spins. And most of you know if you hold a conch shell up to your ear, you can hear the ocean roar in your ear. But this little conch shell spins as he sets the music box down on top of the bookcase. And the screams seem to be leaving your mind one by one. And when the music box, the shell inside, stops spinning, it closes, and there are no more screams in your head. Now, as a complication for this success, Toymaker, the toy box, when it closed, dislodged the turning key. The spring inside has sprung. You will not be able to release these voices.
Unless I make a new key in the future.
And
Yes.
wrap the
repair it.
spring. Because it has broken your music box to trap these voices. All right. Very good. And the beautiful thing has lost the voices, the screams in your head. As a matter of fact, the silence is practically deafening now. There are no birds chirping, no squirrels skittering. It is silence of death in this place. The only sound you hear is the water rushing from the bottom of this bookcase, and the water level is rising in this room. Victim, it has now reached past your knees while you are kneeled on the floor. Veteran, what would you like to do for this beautiful thing?
Veteran will look at the teddy bear and see these disturbing sharp teeth. This wrong looking teddy bear. And do what somebody like him does best. Pull his gun. Aim. Shoot.
Okay, so you're actually attempting to puncture through the glass
Yeah,
of the barrister bookcase
straight through.
to actually hit the teddy bear.
Yeah. He will not assume that that would be an actual hindrance to
Okay.
the gun.
Perfect. Roll your d6 and let's see.
That's a 1.
Oh, no.
When you fire, you are a well-trained soldier. You know, aim small, hit small. The bullet hits right where you wanted it to. But when it comes into contact with the glass, it actually ricochets off. And when it ricochets, it hits you in your dominant shoulder. Hopefully you can fire your gun with your offhand, otherwise you might be a little harder to aim. You failed your attack, veteran. What does this take from you?
It takes the uncertainty, what it did. It takes this. It takes the uncertainty about this being part of a conspiracy. This is something else, but no less dangerous for people around.
Okay. And how does that make you feel? How does that diminish you?
Takes that uncertainty of what it deserved to what it did to deserve destruction.
Mm-hmm.
That is what it takes away from me.
Yeah, but how does that make you feel?
More
Are you now more frightened of it?
frightened and more, but at the same time still more determined.
Okay.
Fear is something that the veteran has.
Fear is a great motivator.
learned before.
Yeah, fear is a
Knew
great
before.
motivator. Absolutely. Kill what you fear. Mhm. Yeah. So, okay. Very good. Very good. Do that before it gets you. I understand. Okay. So, in this round, so far, 2 of our destroyers are down a descriptor. The beautiful thing is only down 1. Only down 1. The toy maker was successful in capturing those voices that were basically going to drive everyone incompetent. Excellent. But there's still a long ways to go. Round 2.
Oh boy. So now that all the voices are gone,
I still say you're going through something. I think you should take your turn after someone else.
okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try something.
Okay.
What I want to do is go up to the cabinet and with a small set of tools, sort of perhaps like a small wood carving chisel type thing and a small hammer, I'm going to try to knock, suppose, the hinges on the doors that are across the case.
They are at the top because the way a
Top.
barrister bookcase works is
Ah,
they lift up because the
So-
lock is at the bottom of each shelf.
okay.
And it's like a cabinet door, but it goes up instead of side.
So either I'll try to take the hinges off or I'll try to knock the lock mechanism to break it.
Okay. So roll your d6 and let's see what happens.
A 1.
No.
You take your chisel
Oh,
to the lock and you hit it with your hammer. And the instant you do, the chisel shatters. And more water flows out of this bookcase. Even faster, you can hear it roaring now. The victim, kneeled on the floor, is now up to her waist in water. It is now up to about mid-calf on the gentlemen in the room who are standing. Tell me, Toymaker, what does that failure take from you?
I say it takes away from me why I am cruel.
Okay.
The end justifies the means. I've started to realize perhaps not the best option to take. Bad things happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now either destroyer who has not gone yet can go.
I would say.
think that. Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
I can keep writhing.
The veteran will pull like a magnesium torch out of his sea jacket and walk up to the cabinet and just try to use it to melt off the glass that is obviously too hard to be penetrated by a bullet, but maybe it can be melted.
Okay. Now, I will say your dominant arm is at a disadvantage.
Well, Bill use his healthy one then.
Okay. So I would... You know, with the way that is... Yeah, I won't create a penalty for that. Go ahead and roll.
You're fucking kidding me.
No, what's happening? We're so dead. You go to ignite this torch, magnesium torch, to burn this fire. I'm not the fire, the glass within the case that protects the teddy bear. And just like the bullet, the fire is repelled from the glass, and it flashes back on your hand. You drop the torch, and it immediately goes out in the now knee-high water.
Fascinating.
And now you have an injured shoulder and an injured hand.
Ew.
So tell me what this failure has taken from you.
It takes the battle-heartedness.
Okay.
It takes the security of that he can do with everything, but that's just a magnesium torch going out underwater, which it shouldn't be doing.
It should not do that. That may not be water.
Science doesn't work here,
Right.
and it scares a lot.
You actually see the torch flowing down the slope of the floor, out of the room, down to the next level. You hear it bonk as it goes. All right, victim, you are now waist deep in fucking water. You gonna stand up and do something?
I mean, apparently it's not water, so.
It doesn't have a smell. That's the weirdest thing. Even water has a smell. This has no smell.
I think I'm like, I'm recognizing what they're trying to do. I'm trying to come up with a solution myself. And now that the screams are silenced and the noises from them sound more like normal noises that people are doing, I remember the key that I kept under my bed, and I'm going to crawl through the water to my bed, see if the key is still there so that I can use it to unlock
Okay,
the cabinet.
roll your d6. Let's see if you
I
find
don't want to.
You have to.
I would much prefer that it just happen. Yo, that's a 2.
You go to this broken bed. The mattress and box spring is actually still intact. It's the frame itself that was broken, but you know you put the key in between the mattress and box spring. Your little hiding place as a child. It's where you hid your diary. It's where you hid all your little treasures. And you hid the key to this bookcase that held your toys. You find the key. But because your hands are wet from crawling in this water, you drop it. And it flows out of the room.
Fuck. I hear it hit a torch.
It makes a resounding tink. So what does this destroy in you?
My reason for coming here. This is no longer feeling like my room anymore.
Okay.
And I think that's really like...
How does that make you feel? A little lost? Yeah,
like I felt confident coming in here because it was like a area that I understood, but now this like it's so confusing that I'm starting to like lose my confidence.
Yeah. Okay, excellent.
We're doing awful.
All right, so the end of round 2. We have 2 destroyers who are down 2 descriptors. The other destroyer, the toy maker, is down 1. All of them have already become changed by this experience. Not nearly as confident as when they arrived. The beautiful thing is still mostly intact. The only thing it's lost is its voices. That bookcase is a fucking pain in the butt, ain't it, guys?
Old world craftsmanship.
That's right. That's right. Maybe a little bit of magic thrown in.
Made
All right.
to last.
Built to last. All right. So now we go into round 3.
I would have something to do.
Okay.
There's like that broken frame of that bed. The veteran would pick a piece of it up, like a large log, try to jam it behind the cabinet, and
To pry it from the wall?
to pry it from the wall, to tip it over, and maybe we can get in from the backside.
Okay. Roll your d6. I love these ingenious ideas y'all come up with.
That's
No.
fucking guess.
Is it a 1 again? Oh my god.
That die needs to go into timeout. As you pick up this piece of broken wood frame of the bed from the floor that is now just above your knees in water, it is a little bit slippery. Your hand, even though you put it in the water, still hurts. The water does nothing to soothe the burn. But you do get a hold of it. It's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. You can't help, even though you were hardened by your experiences in life, you still flinch from the pain. You try to leverage the splintered and more jagged edge of this broken piece of frame behind the bookcase. But what happens when you use it like a lever to pry it from the wall? It actually snaps in your hand because the wood itself was rotten. much like the trees outside.
I guess that.
Mm-hmm. So, tell me, what has this destroyed inside of you?
Who I am.
The
The
veteran?
only thing left is the desire to prevent others from being harmed by this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you do with the pieces of wood now in your hand?
Probably cursing, throwing it to the ground.
And they also flow out of the room in the rushing water, and you hear them thunk on the next floor, and then thunk again a little bit farther down. Things are moving quicker out of this place, and you're finding it harder to maintain your balance in the room. So, who's next?
I got an idea.
Okay.
Oh. All right. So while I still have the little ghost girl, I'm gonna go up to the apparently impenetrable cabinet, and I'm going to will the like flickering child to reach in through it and like hold on to the bear and try to like coerce it into remembering that like we used to be best friends.
Okay.
And it just happens, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it just happens. If you get a 4 or higher.
Oh, it's a 6.
Yay!
We're going up, y'all. It's working. We're gonna beat it.
All right. So, what the gentlemen in the room see while they're trying to maintain their balance in the sloped room with water now above their thighs is this woman that's been flickering between solid and ghostly child form. Basically become the child form for a moment and reaches a small ghostly hand through the glass where the bear is and strokes its soft fur so gently. And the mouth that looks so dangerous closes. The bear turns its head down to look at the child. And it looks like a smiling teddy bear to the child. The lock pops on the barrister bookcase. I will not remove the sharp teeth from the bear. It still has it. It's just closed its mouth. Temporarily. But the locked barrister bookcase is now unlocked. The bear remembered the child that hugged it close when going to sleep at night. Very good.
Thanks.
That's thinking outside the box. I liked her. I love when the dice rolls let me reward that kind of ingenuity. Yes. All right.
It's weak now. Kill it.
Yeah, now we can kill it. Lure it into a false sense of security. Yay.
Hug it to death.
Yeah. So, now, toy maker.
Okay. The biggest problem I can see here is the water. It's still rising, isn't it?
All the aggressive actions led it to go into full-fledged defense mode.
I want to understand how things work. I usually pull them apart and put them back together. There is something I've brought with me that I have put back together, but it doesn't quite work the way I plan it to, or I intended it to. I reach into the satchel I had brought with me and bring out a small, looks like an earthenware jar or a bottle. And it was meant to be pretty much an endless bottle of water, but it doesn't work the right way anymore. And as soon as I take the lid off it and I place it in the water, it starts to draw all the water in.
Okay.
Without end.
Roll your d6.
Come on. No.
Oh.
You got a 4?
Oh.
Excellent. Excellent. So this works. So notice a pattern with this beautiful thing. The less aggressive you are with it, maybe the dice gods will favor you. So
I let everyone else roll first so I get all the ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
That too. All right. So literally what the child is a bit distracted engaging this teddy bear. Kind of stuck in a moment in the past of fond memories with this bear. The veteran has attempted to pry this beautiful thing off the wall. The board he used was rotten and basically shattered in his hands, and he threw down the pieces and swore, and they fell out of the room. But as he did that, he had turned and he sees the toy maker set down this obviously repaired earthenware jar into the water. And the water stops flowing out of the room and starts flowing into the jar. And the water line is dropping in the room. And the water itself rushing out of the bookcase is no longer doing so. So it will take some time, but this earthenware jar will absorb and take in all the water it can. And it's actually, you notice a reversal of flow. Gravity obviously doesn't apply here because water is rushing up into the room where it has drained out of the room and into this earthenware jar as well. So, the case is no longer leaking this liquid substance. Excellent. Now we've made some progress. So, end of this round, the beautiful thing is down 3 things. You no longer hear the screams in your head as you are close to it. The locked bookcase is now unlocked. The water, or liquid, leaking out of it is no longer doing so. The floor itself still has a bit of water in it, but it is receding. The veteran is down to 1 descriptor left, the desire to protect others. The victim still wants to pay this beautiful thing back, and really isn't sure what it is. It just knows it was a victim. Seems some sort of unliving thing. Still aged, but unliving. The toy maker, mostly intact still, by some stroke of luck, has only lost that cruelty that ends justify the means. It's led him to a more creative focus on this problem. To where the means might justify the end. So now we go into the next round. Because there's still 3 things left.
Boy.
Oi!
I have
What
an
are the
idea.
3 things, just as a reminder, please?
Yes, the 3 things are, it is a tattered teddy bear that appears to be made out of real fur. It still has sharp teeth, very sharp teeth like a lamprey. And the floors are sloped. That makes it very difficult to traverse in this room.
The veteran will go outside, leave the room, and take a entrenching tool and start digging a grave.
Ooh.
Okay. What are you attempting to accomplish with this act?
I'm thinking that the teddy bear is a symbol for all the lives that have been lost here. May just need a proper burial.
Okay. Okay. So, you take your tool to dig the earth. The water is nearly gone from the ground outside now. The ground is moist and damp and easy to turn because it has been well saturated by this liquid. So go ahead and roll your d6 and let's see how you succeed.
Please, at least once. 4.
Okay.
Ooh, boy.
You
Cutting it
succeed
close.
in digging a grave. It's not exceptionally deep. It's not exceptionally large. It's the perfect size for this teddy bear. And in doing so, the shifting of the earth just outside of this strange stacking of buildings cause the building itself to shift. Floors inside temporarily become more level. However, the tower of buildings is now leaning precariously over you, veteran.
Uh-oh.
So, the floors are no longer slanted. Excellent
Got an
thinking,
idea.
though. It's going to be precarious, but excellent thinking. Who's going next?
I got an idea.
Okay, what's your idea?
So I'm gonna hold the bear now, just in my arms. And I'm gonna ask the toy maker if he has a sewing kit.
I've got one. I can pass him a small sewing kit if he wants.
Okay.
I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna sort of
I'll open
Go
it
out
for you, actually, so you've got your hands free.
okay. I'm like holding the bear under like one arm, and then I'm gonna go outside with the bear and sort of like sit down cross-legged in front of the grave, and not aggressively, but almost like I'm fixing
The
like
tatters?
a tear. Yeah, I'm fixing a tear. I'm going to sew its mouth shut.
Okay. Okay. Roll your
Because
d6.
obviously something's wrong, and it just needs to be fixed.
Needs to be shown some tender loving care.
Downhill, y'all. That's a 1. We're going down.
So in order to physically move this bear, you have to shift back into your woman form to be tangible. And you carry the bear with this sewing kit through the different buildings that were stacked together. The floors are now level, so it's easier to jump from one level to the other and safely do so to traverse down. But with each jump, you feel a slight shift in the tower. Veteran, you notice this tower is leaning a bit more precariously over you, like it's about to collapse on you at any minute. And This woman comes out with the bear under her arm and a small sewing kit and sits down right near the grave you dug. Out of direct line of the buildings at the foot of the grave. And takes the bear into... She sits cross-legged, sets the bear down in her lap, opens up the sewing kit, threads a needle, and stitches a few of the open tatters where the stuffing is starting to show. That goes no problem. To show tender, loving care to this bear. And it's still smiling at her. And then she takes her needle to the bear's mouth to stitch it shut. The bear opens its mouth into a rictus grin of sharp teeth and bites her hand with the needle. The woman loses some fingers. Tell me what you have lost, victim.
I think I'm going to lose my reason for destroying it.
To pay it back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was starting to think that pay it back was show it that I still cared about it. But now I don't know anymore. None of this is going the way that I thought it would, and I'm just sort of losing focus.
Yeah, because you are nearly enthralled to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the veteran. Both of you, right nearby in proximity of it now, are nearly enthralled to this thing. Okay, toy maker, what are you going to do? You are now standing in a room with an empty bookcase.
I'm
That
almost
has
tempted
been unlocked.
to stay here and let everyone carry on their roles. But I'll just stay where it's safe. But no, I will have...
The jar that you placed has now absorbed all the water.
Okay, I'll basically pick it up, place the lid on it, and put that back in its satchel as such.
Okay.
I'll click the music box that would have been on top of the bookcase, but very likely fell off with the shifting of the
Yes,
building.
it did.
So I'd click the bits of that together. Again, I'll just drop it straight into my bag, and then I'll go outside to see what's going on.
And you see as this bear bites the hand that was trying to sew its mouth shut, and lost like 2 fingers on it and the thumb with the needle.
The 2 bad fingers.
Mm-hmm. So now there's like 3 fingers left. Or no, 2 fingers left.
Okay.
3 fingers are gone, 2 fingers left.
What I can see then is obviously the bear's teeth are quite sort of obvious as the biggest threat now. So I'll have a look around, see if there's any bits of wood, possibly from the broken bed or any broken furnishings.
Yes, you actually see that from the flow of water from the bookcase, that the debris from the room, including the torch, the piece from the bed that the veteran used, various debris, even some toys strewn about the room, are now in the center of the area.
I shall
just laying there.
Yeah. The thing that probably would look the most solid might actually be the torch that the veteran used.
Okay. It is a small handheld torch.
What I plan to do is to shove that said torch into the teddy bear's mouth.
Okay, roll
for
your
it to
D6.
bite on it, and then basically pull the torch out and take all the teeth with it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Roll your D6.
And that's a 5. That's
succeed.
Good.
So
Ooh.
the toy maker picks up the veteran's torch that is out and puts it in the mouth of the teddy bear. Literally puts it right at its mouth. And the teddy bear instantly... However, when he goes to pull the teeth out of the teddy bear, It punctured the torch. And as he slings it, it actually goes towards the tower of buildings and explodes. The teddy bear still exists, but it doesn't have his teeth anymore. And you guys are about to be impaled by debris of buildings. But good job. Y'all gave me so much ammo with this.
Stress.
It all makes it fun
Yes. So,
and different.
in this round, you guys have knocked it down to where it's just the bear itself that exists.
Just the bare necessities.
Just the bare necessities. The veteran still has one thing he's holding on to. The victim has one thing she's holding on to. Toymaker's still mostly intact, has only lost one thing.
I'm going to go first here to...
Yeah, please.
It's fine.
listen.
I'll just risk it. It's okay.
I'll roll the ones now for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'll try and do is looking at the stitching, some of it had been repaired, and the sewing kit will be lying nearby. So I'll pick up the sewing kit, and what I'll try and do is find something sharp enough, perhaps
Like a
set
seam
of-
ripper?
Yes, exactly. And that is exactly what I'm going to be using it for. I'm going to stick it where I can see the stitching, and I'm just going to rip through it and unmake it.
Okay, roll your d6.
Well, I did say I was going to roll the ones, wasn't I?
No!
I've rolled a 3, luckily, which is
Okay.
still
Oh,
bad, but
boy.
not a 1.
Yeah, so you basically go to stick this seam ripper, and you know the point of it's sharp. It has a bladed edge in the curve of it, and it has a smaller point on it that has a little ball on it for making sure that you don't cut fabric as well as the stitches. And you put it under a slightly loose stitch in the side of this bear. And you go to rip. Your seam ripper breaks. Snaps completely. And not a single stitch is torn. And from the explosion, a piece of debris lacerates your arm. Because you brought it in close.
Yep.
So tell me what this has destroyed in you.
I will have forgotten what this beautiful thing has done to deserve destruction. I'll forget that it had killed all those people.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So who's going next? TikTok.
I will move up. Take the bear. Put it in the grave.
Okay, roll your d6.
Put some earth above it.
You're going to try to
Just-
bury it.
Yeah, and just dump it in there.
Okay.
Yay!
What'd you get?
6.
6. Excellent. The veteran being pelted by debris. In his desire to protect people from what this beautiful thing is capable of, takes the bear from you, victim, and places it in the grave, covering it with earth and some debris. Completely, and pats it down. The earth itself, for some reason, sinks in the shape of the bear. Like it's disappeared. once that was done.
My hand on her shoulder.
Now, you all have succeeded in destroying the beautiful thing. However, this area is dangerous, and getting out is going to be very dangerous. Roll d6s and let me know your results. Mortuous? Okay. Kelly?
That's a 6.
Okay. Ebonblade?
4.
4. Okay. Veteran, you placed an arm on that woman's shoulder, knowing that you protected her. And in doing so, the buildings collapse on top of you. And the woman fades. No more flickering. Toymaker, you are able to walk away from this place, not unscathed. You get some physical damage from the debris, but you walk away. Tell me, players, was this experience worth the sacrifice?
Yeah.
You did protect someone.
It was worth it to get revenge / redemption
Closure. Mm-hmm.
But I don't like that the toy maker now has a toy full of my sisters and my family and all of my friends in it as I drift away, unable to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. But you got your closure. You see, I envisioned that the way this happened in this town, there was some testing that went on in this town. Some testing on the children. It led to very strange things happening. People died. And a certain teddy bear was a favored toy of a little girl in this town. Tried to protect her, destroying everything that came after her, including her own sisters. But in its overzealous desire to protect you, it also destroyed you.
So you would like to say it destroyed something beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
True, but I forgot to mention that my destroyer doesn't think it was worth it because he didn't actually get what he wanted in the end.
Not at all.
He wanted to unmake it to be able to understand it, and now it's gone.
Now it's gone.
I do have a couple of parts of it, but not the bear itself.
Not the bear itself. Yeah. So basically, yeah, no, I love this story. It's so fucked up, but it's so good.
I like that it almost felt like we were solving a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like almost like an escape room puzzle to how to do this.
The way I saw it was we had to get rid of what I thought was the bigger problems, like the outside layers, till we got to actually just what was left.
Mm-hmm.
The bear.
Yeah, it was really good.
And in this case, that was a brilliant way to handle it because you had to solve the layers of the onion to get to the bear. I mean, it had all these layers of defenses.
I wasn't quite sure how we were going to deal with the sloped floors.
Oh, that's all right. Earth got shifted right outside of it.
And the water, and those It took me a while to work out how.
Yeah. No, y'all
Yeah.
did great. Y'all did great.
It was
Cool.
fun.
Well, thank you, players, so much for playing this little fun one-shot that's so simple. It's only 200 words, and I have it pinned in our Discord for the chat for this. It's called Beautiful Disaster, I think, chat. And basically, it's in Discord. I'll make sure I post it again so you guys see it in Discord. Join us there. That's how I cast this game. I literally posted up a casting call a while back and say, hey, anybody want to play a stream game with me? Come on and join me. And, and so basically everyone that applied is able to sit at my table and play this one shot because it's just so simple. It's 200 words. You do collaboration at the beginning and then roll some dice and basically play out the combat at the end. And it's so simple. So like I said, join us there at McStabber's Lounge, hang out with us, chat with us about games and all the kinds of stuff. We not only cast games from there, we also talk about games. We talk about other interests and stuff. It's a great community. And we do things like community, social deduction games, every now and then, like once a month or so. We do weekly Zoom chats to help foster a sense of community and just hanging out with each other and stuff, especially during this time of pandemic. It helps give us some adult interaction or adult-ish interaction. And then basically
100% adult.
Yeah. Sometimes we need an adult, but And definitely, if you like what we're doing, give us a follow here on Twitch. If you really enjoy what we're doing, consider subscribing to us. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to one channel per month for free. You might consider giving that to us. Also, if you enjoy the amazing collaborative storytelling and role play these players did, consider giving either some bits or donations to these players, because that's how we do it here at McStabber Studios. Subs go to myself and Shanky, the heads of McStabber Studios, and bits and donations go to our players. So if you enjoyed what they do, show them some love. Show you biddies. So if you enjoyed this stream, do check out our YouTube channels for other great, amazing TTRPG content. We have the McStabber Studios YouTube channel that has most of our core content here that we stream. And then we also have one for Haunted Chronicles for the Chronicles of Darkness streams and a few of the Tamshu run one-shots and other games that he's run on Onyx Path. And then we also have the Ishfel YouTube. That is the channel for our amazing GM Tiss that runs our Saturday streams. She used to run a D&D campaign called Ishfel, and now she runs Call of Cthulhu London Esoteric Society and also Blades in the Dark. Now, Blades in the Dark is on the McStabber channel, but the Call of Cthulhu London Esoteric Society is on her channel. So give that a check out for sure. And then, of course, check out our friends that do amazing TTRPG content. They are over in chat now. And if you would like some McStabber Studios merch, you can check out our Zazzle shop to get some merch. There's no merch for this little game. This was just something as a palate cleanser for me after running Monster Hearts that I just wanted to have a fun romp through an easy game. But the other flagship shows that we have on here, like Windy City After Dark and all that, you can find merch for in our Zazzle shop. And schedule coming up this week. Okay, on Sunday we had our season premiere of Windy City After Dark Season 4. And of course, Tuesday was the finale of Ravenya's Werewolf the Apocalypse game. Tonight was this. And that's it up until Sunday again, where you see Windy City After Dark, Season 4, Episode 2. And we will be having more things coming soon. Very soon. Join us on Discord to see our weekly schedule postings there to find out what's coming up after that. Because I don't have the schedule right here in front of me right now. My bad. Anyway, thank you all so much. And one last message I like to give to our followers and our community is make sure you take care of yourself. If you have issues with mental health struggles, or you know of people in your circles that struggle with their mental health, reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, loved ones, even folks you're just loosely associated with. You never know if you checking in might be the voice they needed to hear at that exact moment. And if you are struggling yourself and need to talk to someone, please do so. And if you find that you don't have someone to talk to, or you are literally in crisis, check out our chat right now, because we do have information on various helplines that you can contact either by phone or through text. And we also have a link if you are outside of the U.S. where you can find helpline support in your country by searching by country. It will list by country all the various helplines available to you. So do check that out. And of course, I, Mama McStabber, am the nicest mean nurse you'll ever meet. And I'm going to tell you, go get your goddamn COVID shot.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't done so yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Get it, protect yourself, protect those around you, stop the deaths, stop the ICU overloads. Please, please, please. This disease is fucking preventable. Get the vaccines so that we can get back to normal. Please. Much love to you all. Thank you, players, for joining me. And do check out Tabletop Titties there with Kelly.
That's us.
And check out Mortuous. He streams some cool games in European time-friendly times. So. And of course, do check out Ebon Blade here, who will likely be making appearances in season 4 of Windy City, and will be
Not a snack. I'll add that.
not a snack. Oh, I'm sorry, but Joe Kerr is definitely built to be a snack. Okay. And then, of course, you can check Ebon Blade out in Blaze in the Dark. That's coming up in October again. So thank you all so much for joining us, and you have a lovely night, and we will see you Sunday for Windy City After Dark.